Hello and welcome to the Mikkel Show. Today is a very special edition, and what's special about it is that I have not scripted anything. That's right, I am doing this unscripted, and this is partly because I am lazy, but actually mostly because I wanted to try it. I wanted to try out how good or well I would do. Good I would do? Well I would do? How successfully I would be with a non-scripted. It's a kind of an exercise for me to kind of do something. I don't know. It's really going well so far, don't you think? But yeah, we have, as you always, the different parts, segments of the show is on the screen right now, and I'm actually pointing at the screen, which doesn't make any fucking sense because you cannot see me. Well, you can see this guy, who is also me, but not the real me. I am, in fact, not in real life a koala in a suit, although I sometimes wish I was. But let's just get started and go to our first segment with it, which is current games. That's right. And last time on current games, really nothing had changed. This time, a lot have changed. I have completed not one, not two, but three games. And you're thinking, what? How can you do that? You were not playing three games. Well, technically, I was because I was also playing Dungeons and Dragons Online, which is not a game you complete. But I have completed three games, and there was a weird sound that kind of spooked me out. Anyway, but Sniper Elite is not one of the games that I have completed. And you're thinking, what? What is this? This cannot be. And I don't know why you would think these things in this kind of voice. But yes, I have completed three games. Let's start off by the games that I have not completed. Dungeons and Dragons Online, not played it that much recently. I am still technically playing it, although it's been a while. And Sniper Elite 2, I think I'm a little over halfway through the game. Super fun game, but we'll talk more about that once I have completed it. Now, Monkey Island 2, I completed Monkey Island 2. Super fun game, difficult as fuck because a lot of the different, I don't know, puzzles, I guess you could call it, riddles, mysteries, whatever you want to call it, were difficult and unlogical. But it was fun, and I had to look at the game guide more than I'm willing to admit, which I kinda already admitted by saying that. But it was a super fun game, but I'll go into more details in my review series. And the two other games that I completed were not some more games from Big Fish Games. You know, I talked about them earlier, where I played the Enigmatic series and also Fear for Sale. And the two games I've played is actually Fear for Sale 2, Sunnyvale Story, and I Need a Roof on my fucking studio. Let's just do this. Weather clear. I wish you could actually turn off rain. Can you turn off rain? I don't know. I should probably know. I've been playing Minecraft for like forever. Not really. But yes, Fear for Sale 2, Sunnyvale Story, and Fear for Sale 3, Nightmare Cinema. Both really interesting and fun games. Simple, but fun. The kind of games that you would like finish in like a couple of days only. Both of them, not both of them together. Well, you probably could. I probably could have completed both games at the same day if I wanted to, but I wanted to kind of stretch them out. They are, like I said, simple. Partly it's the hidden objects game where you get a list of objects you need to find, and you have a screen full of different objects, and you need to find the right objects. And then also we have some traditional adventure game style where you need to find out what happened and solve a mystery, and you have some puzzles as well. Super fun games. I really recommend Big Fish Games because they make some really, really nice and cheap games. Um, I haven't started a new adventure game yet. I am kind of leaning between more Big Fish games and a old school game called Prisoner of Ice. I don't know yet, but next Tuesday, which will be Christmas Eve, you will know, because then I will probably have started a game, maybe even finished one or more. But yeah, that was current games for today. Now it's time to go out into the village. And as you can see on my left, that's my right, and that was what I meant. You can see on the right that there's something new over there, so let's get over there. Do 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 do. Wait, no. And here we go. As you can see, I what, something interesting? Oh, never mind. Oh, I guess he's going to eat. Hey, you can't just do that. You can use the paths. What the hell are you doing? You don't walk on the hedge. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I made some more roads around here, as you can see. And hey, hi, yeah. And it goes over here, and before we go inside, there's some more roads here now. And so, here. And this is a new house. As you can see, this is a little bigger than the other houses, but I still wanted to make it kind of small and have like one room, because I still wanted it to be like in the styling of the other buildings. It's just a little bigger. I guess you could call this a newer part of town. And who knows, maybe in the future we'll have like multiple storied houses and multiple roomed houses, but I don't want to go from small one room houses to bigger houses with multiple rooms, so I just thought this would be ideal. It's still a little better and more detailed than the usual villager houses. Got some carpet, we got some nice lanterns. For those of you who don't know how to make this is quite simple actually. You know what, this is not a tutorial, but I think I need to do this to show you, for those of you who don't know, how to make those lamps. Now this is a creative only. You could do this in survival, but to be honest, it would be expensive as fuck, as you can see right here. What's happening? Oh yeah. No, that's not the button. This is the button. Here you go. I'm just gonna delete this afterwards because I don't want one here. First, you take an item frame, place it right here. Then you take a anvil, place it here, and then let's just jump on this. You have to make sure to not select the item frame, but the wall behind it, and press the torch on there. And now you have a really nice torch holder. This is not an original idea by me. I can't remember where I saw this. Probably in another video. But this looks really awesome. Let's just get rid of this again. And go into... No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Here we go. Today's up close and personal has almost nothing to do with this house, even though I... Oh, trying to. There we go. Forgot to put a window in there. But yeah, normally I build something that has to do with today's game, and you can say that it has. Today's up close and personal is once again about video games. I've already done a little thing about my my gaming history, and I did something about first-person shooters. So today we're going to do talk about adventure games, and I thought, why not do a house? A lot of adventure games take place in houses. I know it's a little far-fetched, but you know, whatever. There's a sheep up there. It's the evil sheep of darkness, even though it's white. But yeah, we're going to talk about adventure games, and this guy wants to be in on it. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to my show. See you later. But yeah, today we're going to talk about adventure games. For those of you who don't know what adventure games is, I don't really blame you. It's not a genre of gaming that is really hitting the mainstream anymore. But yeah, traditional point and click adventure game, which is the thing I'm really going to talk about, is a game in which you go around as a person, a detective, a journalist, a police officer, a hero of sorts. It can be basically anything, and you have to solve a mystery, find clues, find different objects which has to be used in different places, solve puzzles, and go talk to people. It's yeah, and a lot of games these days has adventure games elements. Even a games like Half-Life and Half-Life 2, and well, basically any first-person shooter or third-person shooter these days has adventure game elements in them. It's become really a normal thing in gaming. But the adventure game itself is unfortunately not that popular of a genre anymore. You'd still see some kind of adventure game in a lot of horror games like Amnesia, and Outlast is basically adventure games. But the traditional point and click 2D adventure games seems to not really hit the mainstream, although there are still a big following of the genre. But we had to talk about my experience with the genre because there was a time when I considered it to be my favorite genre of gaming, and it is still among my favorite genre. As you can see, just today I talked about finishing 3 different adventure games, and that was actually pure coincidence. I had planned to talk about adventure games before that, so that was, like I said, just a coincidence. But yeah, one of the first adventure game I ever tried was, well, I think I played a little bit of the first Leisure Suit Larry game at a friend's house. But the first game, the game that really caught my attention was Phantasmagoria. Phantasmagoria was a milestone in gaming for many reasons. For one, it was on 7 CD-ROMs, which was pretty big for its time. I would still consider it big, especially for an adventure game. It was because it had real live action shots mixed in with computer generated images, and it actually looked pretty good for its time. It was revolutionary but also another thing that it did that was kind of a milestone, a revolutionary, and which unfortunately also is the reason it didn't sell this good, and it never really became that popular. It was a very adult game. It has a lot of violence. It had some adult themes. There was a rape in the game. You didn't really see. Well, you did kind of see the rape, but not in a very graphical way. But really, a lot of adult material in the game. And this was in '97, so I was like, I don't know, how old was I in '97? Was it '96? I was like 18, I think. 17, 18, around that age. And so I was ready for stuff like that to to see more adult material. And I really loved that game because it wasn't that hard, but it was really great stories. Some really, and this was, in my opinion, one of the scariest games ever, and still is. I mean, I don't really scare that much about of gaming, and especially not the kind of scares modern games has, where it's all about someone going boo in the face. Oh, I was trying to get on a close up. Damn it! Blah. But yeah, that's not really scary to me. So something like Phantasmagoria I thought was a lot more scary, and then I I actually completed it almost immediately. It wasn't that hard, like I said. But then I started buying a lot of adventure games, but I bought them, I mean, too fast after each other. So I ended up with a lot of adventure games that I didn't complete and still actually haven't. We're talking games like Buried in Time, The Daedalus Encounter, Gabriel Knight, The Beast Within, Gabriel Knight, Sins of not Sins of the Father. I actually completed that, and that's years later. But the third Gabriel Knight game, I can't remember what it's called. Blood of the Sacred, Blood of the Damned. That was called X Files, Blade Runner, Titanic. A lot of really the more serious side of adventure games. Even though the more humorous, funny side of adventure games was probably the best known series like Monkey Island, which I just completed the second game, and Police Quest, King's Quest, Leisure Suit Larry, I completed number 6 in that series. We had Day of the Tentacles, Sam and Max Hit the Road, Full Throttle, Discworld, which are some of the most famous adventure games. Unfortunately, I've never played these. I will. I think my favorite adventure game of all time is probably The Longest Journey. And I mean, this is a game I played I think I played it the first time like 2 years ago. And this is an amazing adventure game with an amazing story, really really big universe and really detailed universe and detailed story. And there's a sequel to the game called Dreamfall, The Longest Journey, which I unfortunately haven't played yet. But I mean, that's what I love about adventure games, is that they focus so much on the story of the game. And I mean, still on the gameplay as well, but because it's always about solving a mystery, I feel like they have to focus a lot on the story. And so for people who lack story in gaming, they should probably get off the hedge. No, they shouldn't get off the hedge. Well, if they're on a hedge, they probably should. But yeah, they should probably play more adventure games. But they do not. Most adventure games don't really have action elements. They are at least not the type that I play. It's basically your point and click. You have a 2D version, and you kind of move from one side of the screen to the other. In a lot of them, and you then solve mysteries. Some of them are in 3D, some of them are just still pics, like for instance the Big Fish games are mostly still pics with some movement on screen too. But basically you switch from screen to screen and you have to solve. It's hard to explain. But adventure games is like one of the things I always loved about adventure games, other than that having a great story, is that I felt that it helped me. I don't know, not learn, but I guess it helped me look at things analytical, is that the right word? But kind of look at things like taught me how to solve problems and stuff like that, and it kind of analyze situations. I don't know if that makes sense, but it helped me develop my way of thinking. It helped me think logical and in sometimes illogical. It helped me solve problems and stuff like that. I mean, all kinds of games, in my opinion, at least for me, has helped me with something. Strategy games had helped me think strategic, and also a lot of strategy game had taught me a lot about history, like the Civilization series and the Settlers and stuff like that. And first-person shooters has taught me to handle under stress, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, adventure games. I think this is it for. I don't think I have anything more to say. But yeah, go look up some of the old school adventure games. Go look up some of the newer adventure games, because they're still being made plentiful. You just don't really hear about them because they don't get as much attention as the first person shooters or the third person shooters or stuff like that. The problem, and in my opinion, one of the biggest problem with gaming is that we have become so addicted to franchises, like the Grand Theft Auto franchise, the Resident Evil, Mario, um, Call of Duty, Doom. It's all become franchises instead of just games. Whoa! Jesus Christ! That was weird. Look at, for instance, a game like Grand Theft Auto 5. In my opinion, I haven't played it yet, but I've seen videos. There isn't really that much stealing of cars. It could basically have been in any other game, but because it's a part of a franchise, it sells more. I wish it wasn't like that. I wish they would just make new games with, instead of working on the same franchise. And if they do, I don't know what I'm talking about now. Anyway, I'm going the wrong way. Let's head over to the cinema. Let's see if I can actually do this. Oh god. This is difficult. Oh, oh. A little too close, koala buddy. Oh. This is hard as hell, to be honest. Oh. That's the church, dude. It's not time to go to church now. It's not Sunday. And even if it was, I don't want to go to church. Oh, that's wrong. Okay, let's hit the old first-person view. There we go. And those people are still in there. I think today I will just ignore them. You know? Yeah. Let's actually see if they fix this. They did! You saw that? They fixed it! Oh, whoa. Jesus Christ, what's going... Oh my god! They're panicking. What the hell? Are they having some kind of a seizure? Anyway, maybe I should have just left them alone. Let's turn it to day! Even though it's... Oh, one thing. Da, 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 da. Oh. Ta-da! We have to turn on the projector. Let's head in here. Close. Thank you. And... just like last time on current games, there really wasn't anything to talk about, and a lot of things to talk about this time. And the same goes for the movies. Last week I didn't really have any new movies to talk about, but today I actually had plenty of qualifying candidates for movie of the week, but I narrowed it down to one. And the movie I have chosen as movie of the week is a tiny little thing called... what's it called? Oh yeah, Cold Fish. This is a Japanese movie from 2010, directed by Shion Sono. As you might recall, I talked about Shion Sono earlier, as I, a couple of weeks ago, did a review. A movie of the week was Suicide Club. This is the same director. This is a movie about two fish salesmen, tropical fish salesmen. The one of them, the lead, his daughter, it's caught stealing in a supermarket, and an guy gets, the other fish salesman guy kind of gets her off the hook, because I don't know, he's an important part of society. So as to thank him for that, the daughter goes working in the fish store, and this is a lot bigger, more bigger fish store. I'm not really good at explaining this story, but this whole thing, the meeting with this other guy, these two men meet, sets off a lot of events that has very, very bad consequences for the lead of this movie. And I really don't want to talk too much about this movie, because I went into the movie almost blind. That was pretty dumb to go into a movie blind because you can't see it. But you know what I meant. I didn't know anything about this movie. I know it was Shion Sono, so what I expected was to kind of had my mind blown, and I did. This movie is violent, bloody, and gory. So if you don't like stuff like that, don't watch it. But if you do, watch it. But the cool thing about it, this is not meaningless violence, blood, and gore. There's a story, there's a plot, there's a deeper meaning. I don't know what it was, but I'm sure it was there. It's an amazing movie, and I highly recommend it. Cold Fish by Shion Sono. And if you'll have me excused, I'll be right back. I am back again. Sorry about that. There was some weird noises I had to check. The cool thing about this is that it doesn't really matter if I kind of pause in this video, because I am going to edit it anyway. Normally, I don't like editing. Oh my god, how could I? Whoa, it disappeared. Yeah, how could I not have noticed that pyramid over there until last episode? It's kind of weird. Anyway, maybe other people have noticed it. I don't know. Uh, open. Why can I not open this? Okay. Weird. I can't open it in third person from... Ah. Anyway, we are going back to the studio. Jumping all the way. Whee! Jumping! Jump around! Jump around! Okay. Hello! I'm back. Well, I'm back in the studio anyway. And we've come to the last part of the show, which is the spotlight. Today, just as last time, I'm going to talk about a rather big channel. This is a channel that doesn't need my help to get subscribers, but that's not the reason I'm doing this anyway. The reason I'm doing the spotlight is because I'm trying to suggest to people what to watch. And today's channel is a British girl called Lizzie, or LD Shadow Lady, as her channel is also called. I first found her through Zack Scott's Minecraft series, and I quickly subscribed to her because she makes some really interesting videos. She mostly does Minecraft. Currently, she's also doing some Garry's Mod, and in the past, she done some other games like Cube World, like Amnesia, Doom 3, other horror games, Slender, and stuff like that. She sometimes plays with others, her boyfriend Joel and her sister Maddie, among others. And yeah, she has some really nice videos, and I would highly recommend you see them. They are funny, and I don't know. She has a nice style of making videos. I often wish she would make some a more Let's Play series, because not because I'm like I feel that's missing from her channel, but more because I'd like to see how she'd do one of those. She has done some, but those were like cut up and kind of just highlight series, which I myself do not enjoy. But her Minecraft videos and her other just quick videos, that you would probably call them, are really awesome. So go check it out. LD Shadow Lady, Lizzie. She's British. She says she has a cute accent and says words kind of weirdly, like button. Woo! She says button weirdly, but in a cute way. So, with that, this has been a short episode. I always say that, and it probably hasn't. But anyway, we've come to the end. So, if you like my video, give it a thumbs up. This was all improvised, no scripting whatsoever, and I think I did pretty good. There's probably something I've forgotten. Maybe I even skipped an entire segment. I don't think so, but it wouldn't surprise me though. But yeah, give it a thumbs up and favorite it and write a comment if you like. Tell me what's your favorite adventure game. Um, and subscribe if you haven't, because you know what? There's going to be plenty of fun stuff to be had on this channel. So, with that, I bid you adieu. Or whatever. I don't really speak whatever language that was. I think it's French. See ya.